Welcome back to Business Plus PNG. In our second segment of this evening, I'm going to be speaking to Diane Wang, the founder and CEO of DH Gate in China, here for an ABAC sponsored e-commerce summit. So the second ABAC meeting in Papua New Guinea, all part of the lead up to APEC 2018 for Papua New Guinea. Let's listen to what I think you'll find is a fascinating interview with Diane Wang, and for those ladies out there, something to aspire to. The very special guest with me for the ABAC e-commerce summit, Diane Wang, the founder and chief executive of dhgate.com. Diane, welcome to Papua New Guinea, and welcome to our new convention center. First time to Papua New Guinea?
Yeah. Thank you for the invitation. It's my first time.
Okay. Look, you're taking part in, you've spoken at this e-commerce summit. It's really based and looking at young entrepreneurs in Papua New Guinea. Your story itself is a wonderful story, which is why we wanted to speak to you. How did it all start?
Actually, right now I'm representing China in the APAC Business Advisor Council. I'm also the co-chair for the SME Enterprises Working Group. Actually, I'm a serious entrepreneur in China. I started my first company at the end of 1999. It's one of the first e-commerce company in China, focused on the B2C business.
Would it be too impolite if I asked you how old you were at that time?
Around that time, just 30 years old. Okay. Yeah. So that you can see high tech, especially internet e-commerce, dramatically lower the entry barrier for SMEs, for women entrepreneurs, that they can grow their business. Yeah.
We talked earlier on how difficult some women find it to get into business in Papua New Guinea. Is that something that was true for you? Was it difficult to break through that ceiling, as they say?
Yeah, I think I can share my stories. Actually, the first startup, we focus on the B2C business in China. And then 2004, my company was acquired by Amazon. So right now it's Amazon China.
So that's when it became stellar for you.
And then after that, I have a dream. I don't want to only focus on one domestic countries. I wanted to look at the international market. So 2004, I started my second company called dhgate.com. So we wanted to build.
So you still have the business at Amazon, the platform that Amazon bought. You're still involved with that?
Yeah, 2004 already. Amazon acquired my first company.
You got bored and you started DH Gate.
So after that, I still have a very strong passion in the e-commerce area, and also we wanted to enable SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, that they can leverage internet e-commerce. They can access to global market, and they can purchasing and selling their goods all over the world.
So for a Papua New Guinean business, they could come to your platform and you basically can sell to the world?
Yeah, right now we can cover more than 230 countries and regions worldwide. So
are
especially,
you here yet?
Yeah, sure. So especially for those micro, small and medium-sized enterprises. In the past, it's hard to imagine for them to build office overseas because they don't have the enough resources, talents to explore their business overseas.
There's no need to do that.
Yeah, right now they
can be sitting at home.
They can just click mouse, okay, and they can connect with the world, okay. They can talk to the customers worldwide. They can sell the goods to them. Especially, I think, for the women entrepreneurs. Actually, in China, 50% of our sellers that they're owned by women.
Okay. So that's a great possibility for Papua New Guinea. So you can still have the family, you can still stay at home and decide whether you want part-time or full-time.
Yeah, exactly. That they can leverage the internet, that they can do in their business online. They can best balance their work and life.
What sort of products are these ladies selling? I mean, what are they? Do you have any? You just watch the electronic bit moving through? Are you involved in what they're actually selling? Or?
Yeah, I think in this morning session we shared several of our case studies, especially some from the young women entrepreneurs. So they're selling wedding gowns online to Paris, to US, and some of the village elders. So they can also sell their handmade products. So for example, baskets, handmade dresses to Paris, to Las Vegas. I think that's really amazing for these women entrepreneurs.
And there's a great opportunity here in Papua New Guinea. I mean, you've probably seen, I don't know if someone's given you a bilum yet, but, or traditional baskets, but I mean, I've seen models wearing those in Milan. And so we could be selling these things to the world through your gateway,
Yeah, exactly. It's more and more easier and convenient for the small business doing business with overseas buyers. I think it's all about mindset. So if people can change, okay, they can bravely embrace the high tech, the new technologies. I think that can dramatically give them the bigger imagination room.
Have you had a chance to talk to some young Papua New Guineans in your couple of days here? Are you seeing that mindset there, or is it still up in the clouds, if you'll use that term? Is it still up in the clouds for them a little bit?
I think definitely. I think today's events is the best opportunities that we wanted to face-to-face communicate with the local entrepreneurs directly. Especially, we can get them feedback after they hear the real case studies from China. So if they can adopt some of the best practice into their local daily businesses. So for example, today our cross-border e-commerce training program talk about the whole ecosystem in this cross-border area. So people can understand about logistics, about the payment, about marketing, customer service, internet financing, etc. So we're eager to get feedback from the audience.
When you talk about internet financing, are you talking about things like crowdfunding, etc., or that's what you're talking about there?
Yeah, I think that's the amazing area. In the past, especially for SMEs, it's really difficult for them to get the enough funding or loan from the traditional banking system. So right now, I think because of the internet, because of the e-commerce, SMEs can leverage their data, their histories, their transactions, customer feedback, so they can get the credit and directly get a loan.
Becomes an asset for them to leverage on.
Okay, so that's a very attracting alternative financing method for SMEs.
Yeah, we're still working. I guess we're still working up on speed for internet, etc. There's still a lot of issues. We've only got two real telecom providers. Is that a major impost, or have you seen it in other countries that you deal with? People get around that? Or?
Yeah, I think there are several bottlenecks for SMEs to access global market. One is today's we'll talk about awareness. So I think in this area, both public and private sectors should work together to provide the right mechanism for SMEs. I think another bottleneck for SMEs is if they have the right access infrastructure. So I think the hardware, the IT infrastructures is also
is that
very
a government
critical.
issue, or in China was the government an issue for you? And we've heard of issues with internet, etc. Has the government got a big role to play there, or can business work with government, or can I say go around government?
My opinion is, especially in the first stage, I think government should play a very important role and work together with the private sector. So, for example, like the PPP, public-private program partnerships, for this kind of initiatives, that both sides can work together to push. After this period of time, I think more and more business, they can familiar with the whole process, and then they can enable themselves to do a lot of business.
A lot of this business is cross-border. There's quite a lot of, in this changing world, there's quite a lot of issues that can stall that, and I think some governments get a little bit nervous about it. Was that a big issue for you and your business? So?
I think currently we all get the consensus because the innovation is always the first. So the private sectors understand clearly about the front line. So the innovations, what the best practice, and then the government and the policies and regulations will follow those initiatives. I think that's the current formula.
That's the current formula, but in all of this, it's all changing. Diane, wonderful talking to you, and thank you so much for speaking to Business Plus P&G. I'm sure you're an inspiration to many business people, business women around the world, and it's wonderful to have you here in Papua New Guinea, and we look forward to seeing you again, and we look forward to selling you some of our goods, our bilums, our traditional artifacts, and you take them back to China with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.